Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host, Amelia, and today we're breaking down the explosive penultimate episode of Beyond the Gates Season 1, Episode 21, titled Reckoning. If you've been with us for this entire season, you know we've been building to this moment for months. And if you're just joining us now, well, buckle up because this episode changes everything for the residents of Oakwood Estates. As always, hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't already. And fair warning, major spoilers ahead for episode 21. This is not the episode to watch if you're not caught up. Let's dive into the fallout of last week's shocking revelations and see how the community is handling the truth that's finally emerged beyond those pristine gates. After 20 episodes of secrets, lies, and carefully maintained appearances, Reckoning delivers exactly what its title promises. The facade of Oakwood Estates has completely shattered following Danny's bombshell testimony at the federal hearing last week, and now every resident must face the consequences of their choices. This episode masterfully balances multiple storylines as we see the Duprees fighting for their legacy, the Richardsons making impossible choices, the Hamiltons seizing opportunity from chaos, and several characters finally revealing their true motivations. The writing team deserves enormous credit for bringing together season-long arcs with such emotional impact. What makes this episode particularly powerful is how it forces characters to finally reveal their true selves when everything they've built is threatened. Some rise to the occasion with surprising nobility, while others descend into previously unseen darkness. Let's break down exactly what happened in this game-changing hour of television. The episode opens with a stunning montage of news reports covering Danny Dupree's testimony about her father's illegal land acquisition and subsequent community development. The camera pans across various Oakwood residents watching these reports in their homes, each face revealing different emotions: shock, betrayal, vindication, opportunism. This brilliant opening reminds us that while the Duprees are at the center of the scandal, every family in Oakwood has something at stake in the community's reputation and future. We then move to the Dupree mansion, where Vernon and Anita face the public fallout of their daughter's testimony. The scene between Vernon and Anita is a masterclass in acting, as these usually composed characters finally let their masks slip. Vernon's rage and Anita's cold calculation reveal the true nature of their partnership. Not the romantic power couple they've presented, but two ambitious individuals united by mutual benefit. When Vernon accuses Anita of always knowing this day would come, her response, "I built contingencies while you built fantasies," is perhaps the most revealing line of the entire season. This episode finally brings the season-long arc of the Dupree sisters to its climax, with Nicole and Danny taking radically different approaches to the family crisis. Nicole, who has spent the season struggling with her marriage while maintaining family loyalty, makes the shocking decision to leverage her connections to protect the Dupree assets. Her scene with Ted, where she essentially offers him a deal, helps salvage her family fortune, and she'll overlook his affair with Leslie, showcases how much Nicole has evolved from the somewhat naive character we met in the pilot. She has become her mother's daughter after all. Meanwhile, Danny faces the personal consequences of her whistleblowing. The sequence of her returning to her apartment to find it vandalized with the word traitor is visually striking. Even more powerful is her unexpected encounter with Chelsea Hamilton, who, despite their family's rivalry, offers support and safe harbor. This moment pays off the subtle tension between these characters that's been building all season. The contrasting paths of the sisters is highlighted in parallel scenes of each making phone calls, Nicole calling in favors to protect family interests, while Danny calls her former law professor for advice on what comes next in the investigation. While the Duprees face public scrutiny, the Richardson family confronts their own internal reckoning. The revelation that Ted has been secretly working with both Leslie Thomas and Bill Hamilton creates the episode's most explosive confrontation. The dinner scene at the Richardson home, where Martin finally confronts Ted about the financial documents he discovered, escalates from tense silence to shouting to Martin's devastating revelation that he's already turned copies over to the federal investigators. Smitty's reaction, standing by Martin despite the family implications, resolves their season-long relationship struggle in a moment of genuine emotional impact. What makes this sequence particularly effective is how it intercuts with flashbacks to earlier moments in the season, contextualizing Ted's suspicious behavior that many viewers had attributed to an affair. The revelation that he's been engaged in financial misconduct, even more severe than Vernon's original crimes, reframes many earlier scenes. The episode doesn't resolve whether Ted acted alone or with Vernon's knowledge, maintaining suspense for next week's finale. While others face ruin, Bill Hamilton moves to capitalize on the chaos. His meeting with the Oakwood Estates board, where he proposes taking over community management during this unfortunate transition, reveals just how long he's been planning this moment. What makes this storyline fascinating is the emerging conflict between Bill and his daughter, Chelsea. Throughout the season, Chelsea has been her father's loyal lieutenant, but her growing relationship with Danny has clearly affected her perspective. When she questions her father's opportunism, his dismissive response, "Principles are luxuries for those who don't understand power," creates a fascinating moral dilemma for Chelsea. The sequence ends with a brilliant visual parallel. As Bill raises a toast with board members, Chelsea slips away to text Danny, suggesting the younger generation might forge alliances their parents never could. After 20 episodes of Leslie Thomas operating in the background, manipulating situations while maintaining her friendly realtor persona, this episode finally reveals her true motivations in a stunning confrontation with Anita. When Leslie arrives at the Dupree home unexpectedly, viewers might assume she's there to gloat. Instead, we get the season's most shocking revelation. Leslie is actually Amanda Marcus, daughter of the man referenced in earlier episodes who died under mysterious circumstances during Oakwood's founding. Their confrontation in Anita's study, surrounded by symbols of the Dupree's success, provides answers to questions seeded throughout the season. Leslie/Amanda has orchestrated much of the community discord as part of a long-planned revenge against those she holds responsible for her father's death. The revelation that Anita has always known Leslie's true identity adds another layer to their complex relationship, suggesting Anita has been playing an even longer game than we realized. While her sister Leslie's true identity is revealed, Eva Thomas faces her own crisis of conscience. Throughout the season, Eva has been positioned as the community's ethical center, often uncomfortable with the moral compromises of Oakwood life. The revelation that she's known her sister's true identity and revenge plan creates the episode's most poignant dilemma. Her conversation with Martin, where both acknowledge their complicity in remaining silent for too long, provides a powerful reflection on the season's central theme of moral compromise. Eva's decision to finally come forward with what she knows about both her sister and Vernon's original land deal suggests a possible path to redemption for at least some of Oakwood's residents. The episode's final act masterfully builds tension for next week's finale through a series of short, impactful scenes showing various characters preparing for what comes next. 1. Vernon making a mysterious phone call suggesting he has one final card to play. 2. Anita retrieving documents from her secret safe and burning some while securing others in a go bag. 3. Nicole informing Ted she's transferred assets to accounts he can't access for Danny and Chelsea, sharing a moment of connection before Danny receives a threatening text from an unknown number 5 Bill Hamilton meeting with federal investigators, clearly making some kind of deal. 6. Martin and Smitty deciding whether to leave Oakwood entirely. 7. Leslie/Amanda looking at an old photograph of her father while loading a gun. The montage creates unbearable tension about who might not survive the finale, with director using increasingly tight framing and disorienting angles to enhance the psychological pressure. Just when viewers might think the episode is ending on this montage of brewing conflicts, we get the season's most shocking moment. A sudden flash forward to what appears to be the aftermath of the season finale's events. We see police lights, emergency vehicles, and the gates of Oakwood open to authorities. As the camera slowly pans across shocked residents' faces, we hear but don't see a body being removed from a home. The final shot reveals Anita Dupree being escorted from the community in handcuffs, her expression unreadable. This brilliant cliffhanger leaves viewers with agonizing questions. Who died? Was Anita responsible? Is this the end of Oakwood Estates as the residents know it? The season long question of whether justice should prevail over family loyalty reaches its zenith as characters make definitive choices. Danny chooses justice, while Nicole chooses family, creating a divide that may never be bridged. Vernon and Anita's different reactions to their downfall reveal contrasting relationships to power. Vernon clings to the community status he built, while Anita's preparation for this possibility suggests she's always understood the transient nature of success. The younger generation's choices about whether to perpetuate or reject their parents' values comes to a head, particularly in Chelsea's growing separation from her father's ruthless approach. The season's central metaphor of the gates, what they keep in and what they keep out, reaches its perfect expression as the physical gates finally open to outside scrutiny. The performances in this episode deserve special recognition, particularly who conveys decades of calculation and contingency planning without a single expository line, and whose revelation scene recontextualizes every expression we've seen from her character throughout the season. Based on this penultimate episode, here are my predictions for next week's season finale. 1. The flash forward suggests a major character death. My prediction is Vernon, possibly by suicide, rather than face public humiliation, or at Leslie Amanda's hands as final revenge. 2. The Dupree financial empire will collapse, but Anita's contingency planning suggests she may have secured assets that will become a plot point in season 2. 3. Ted will likely face criminal charges for his financial misconduct, forcing Nicole to decide whether to stand by him or cut ties completely. The growing connection between Danny and Chelsea will provide a path for community healing, suggesting the younger generation might rebuild something more authentic from the ruins. 5. Eva's moral awakening will position her as a potential community leader in whatever Oakwood becomes after these revelations. The writers have created such a complex web of motivations that the finale could go in multiple directions while still feeling true to the characters and world they've established. As we approach the finale, it's worth noting how masterfully Beyond the Gates has evolved from what initially appeared to be a glossy drama about wealthy Black families into a nuanced exploration of community, justice, and the true cost of success. The show has consistently subverted expectations about character motivations while maintaining psychological realism. Even as the stakes have escalated to include federal investigations and potential violence, the emotional core remains the relationships between these complex, flawed individuals. What began with Vernon's questionable land acquisition has expanded into a multi-generational story about the legacy we leave and the prices we pay for the lives we build. Questions that resonate far beyond the exclusive confines of Oakwood Estates. Beyond the Gates has delivered a penultimate episode that pays off season-long arcs while setting up what promises to be an explosive finale. The performances, direction, and writing have all reached new heights as the stakes have escalated. What did you think of episode 21? Who do you think might not survive the finale? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for our finale recap next week and all your other favorite shows. Until then, I'm Amelia reminding you that sometimes the most beautiful gates hide the darkest secrets. Thanks for watching.